Hey everybody, again it's Lazer Lloyd from the land of Israel. How y'all doing? It's a beautiful day in Israel, especially after, wow, 2 straight months of miracles on the level that, it's really hard, even someone like me who doesn't like to jump off the bridge when it comes to saying things about miracles and faith and everything. I just want to give you some inside information because all of us here in Israel most all of us have people in the army, and some of us have people way up high in the army. I could just tell you that for years in Israel, when even the Mossad and the Shabak and the higher intelligence units of the Israeli army knew that they had to take care of the Iranian regime, and I will explain to you a little bit later on why. Their estimates were, some people said there'll be 500 people killed. Some people said it could be 10,000 Israelis killed in the, if we ignite the hornet's nest of Iran, which supports all the terror proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Yemens, and in Syria, and in other places all around Israel's neck, which is around the neck of the free world, and I'll explain to you why. And can you believe, with the thousands of these ballistic missiles, thousands of them, cluster bombs, sometimes half a ton. I mean, so many times these things, I have to keep telling you because people don't understand that we have to open our eyes to see these miracles. Even though something like 30 people combined, a little bit over, with the army and the civilians in the last 2 months, only 30 people to lose their lives in the last 2 months. The people are predicting for years, saying we can't get involved with this. We have to wait till America does it by itself. If Israel gets involved in any way, there'll be thousands of people wiped out here. No electricity, no water for months. That's what people were saying. And that could have happened. That actually could have happened if each one of those missiles would move 5 yards, 50 feet, sometimes 2 feet, 5 feet, just from missing a whole building, a whole complex. We have to give gratitude to however you want to describe it. I say it's really miraculous. We don't leave things into the hands of miracles, though. And that's why I want to take on the really disappointing things said by Bruce Springsteen, who I'm sure he has good contentions, and I know he's a good guy, but sometimes he just gets off and he oversteps his bounds of not really understanding. Bruce Springsteen, people think he's big in America. Do you know how big he is in Europe? How big he is in the UK? How big he is in Australia? So many places that he plays around the world. And do you know that if America had not gotten involved with the Nazis and Japan in World War II after Pearl Harbor, these places, they're not inviting Bruce Springsteen to play in the fascist and communist countries and the dictatorships. Bruce Springsteen is not going to be playing in Russia anytime soon, or in China, or in Iran, or North Korea. No way. He's not going to be playing there. He could play in Israel, and a lot of people, this is a free country. Now, I want to tell you, if you think that the fascist regime of the Nazis was bad, let me explain to you how the Shiite regime of Iran is 1,000 times worse and more dangerous. You see, fascism by the Nazis and Nazism, when Hitler came into power, by the time it had taken over a large part of the world and killed millions of people and made the Holocaust and so much suffering around the world, it had only been in existence, its theory, for roughly 20 years. And so when it was destroyed, when the army was finally destroyed and Germany was freed and the world was freed by America, and that includes Europe, who was almost taken over, and Africa, and Russia, and it would have been so many other parts, including China, that would have been taken over by Japan, and these would have been dictatorship regimes, either fascist or communist or Nazi, whatever you want to say. So the Bruce Springsteen of the world who don't understand, Shiite Islam is over 1,300 years old. It's centuries. It's centuries old. It's ingrained in that population, and to fight it, and the way it's aggressive is way harder than even the Nazis, because the Nazi mindset was not ingrained in people for centuries and centuries. So I want us all to focus on this. We have to realize, people say Iran didn't attack America. Iran, of course it attacked America. America is keeping the free world free in a lot of places. America's embassy got blown up in Lebanon, where over 200 people were killed by the Iranians, and it was their people with Hezbollah that blew up the Americans there. So many people died in the Civil War that Barack Obama tried to do anything there. Barack Obama let there be a bloodbath in Syria with the Iranians and Putin and Hezbollah killing together with the Muslims. All together, it was all the Muslims killing each other, over 300,000 people. When the Yemen war, that you could see that Iraq, why is it getting involved in Yemen? It gets involved in these places and it takes them over. This affects America and the whole free world, because as you see, it's not just the root of all the oil. It's a domino effect. It goes from one thing to the next. And so Bruce Springsteen, who likes to play in all these places that is the free world, there's a price for that. And America has paid the price for the world's freedom. America is not perfect. America is made up of people. And when you have politics and money and power involved, there's going to be mistakes. There's no doubt that there's been wars that have been mistakes. Still today, there's a lot of people who don't know that actually the Vietnam War, and the whole reason it became such a terrible problem, was because the Catholic Church, if you go in and watch it, so people who think the Pope isn't violent or the Catholic Church, go listen to history of who was running Vietnam and how the people there who were involved in the Catholic Church just were being so aggressive and stupid that they started killing these Buddhist people in Vietnam who ended up helping the enemy there. And that was a big part of the problem. They wanted to try to make it all Catholic. And I'm sorry, I have a lot of good Catholic friends, but you have to know the atrocities also of the Catholic Church. Now, until today, we have to know Vietnam is not a communist country, and there was a lot of atrocities there and a lot of pain. We don't know what happened if America didn't get involved at all. We don't know. But what I can tell you for sure is this Iranian regime unfortunately decided when, now there's not everything I like about Donald Trump, but remember, when you vote in America, you're given two options, basically. Now, I told everybody in 2019, it was 100% sure this is the biggest lie and the biggest crime in the 21st century caused by the Democrats. It was clear that Joe Biden was not in any mental capability to handle the position of the presidency in 2019 when he was running. And what did all the Democrats say? Even the ones who eventually took him out of office before his term was ended, because they said he's mentally incapable. But that's what everyone tried to say. And they kept hiding it and trying to cover it up. It was obvious. He's not, I'm not saying he's the devil, but he was not in the mental capacity to handle the presidency. And that's why, overwhelmingly, in a democratic way, President Trump was elected. That's how bad it is of the foolishness of the Democratic Party and the people running it. That first of all, they picked someone who was mentally incapable. Secondly, they told us that now he has to be taken out of office after they convinced everybody he should be in office. And that's why you got President Trump. But to his credit, there's 47 years of this dangerous Shiite Islamic regime that has the ideology that it says death to America, death to freedom, and it aggressively does it. And that's why they committed the October 7th atrocity in Israel, killing over 1,000 people, women and children, and taking others hostage with their proxy Hamas, who they trained to do it and gave them the ammunition and the funding. And so people have to understand what's happening today. There's a big chance for freedom for not only Israel and America and the rest of the free world, but for the Palestinian people and the Lebanese people and the Iranian people to be free from this cancer. It is a cancer. So wake up, people. See the miracles that were happening. There's now a clear choice between good and evil. Don't make the wrong choice.